heard of Fruitopia.
I guess it's a Canadian thing. It's like a blend of like different kind of juices. This one's like, fucking know, like watermelon and blueberry or some shit. I don't know. Tastes
Yeah,
good.
I'm really small for this chair. Like it's funny because like it feels like somebody else could sit right here. That's my size too.
I suppose. Well, anyway, like I was saying. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my talk show. It's me, that one Rebel. My talk show is the Late Night of Rebel. I do this almost every single night until the day I die. So, I'm here with my guest, LilBagel. How you doing, my dude?
Hi, how are you, Rebel? I'm doing great.
I'm doing excellent. It's November 9th, 2019. I don't know what else to really say. Was there anything special on this day?
Yes, it's almost the final day for the Toys for Tots charity live stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, if I can plug that real quick, if
Sure,
you don't
obviously,
mind.
yeah.
Yeah. So right now, on this Saturday, and now we've also extended it into Sunday because it's been such a huge success. We are raising money for charity right now, about like 70 plus streamers, and spearheaded by Mystical Cyan. He's a good boy. We all love him to death. And we are basically all streaming for the Toys for Tots Foundation, which is it's a nonprofit foundation run by the U.S. Marine Corps. And what they do basically is they spend the money on local Toys for Tots foundations inside local communities, and those people go off and they buy toys and stuff like that, and then they hand them out to parents so they can give their kids Christmas, or in some cases they let Santa deliver a Christmas for kids and stuff like that. So, it's really great. Basically, what you're doing is every dollar that you spend on the charity is you're punching the Grinch in the face. That's basically what you're doing.
Whoa! Violence.
Yeah, you're telling him not to steal Christmas, and you're going to be saving Christmas. So that's how it is. So they spend the money to give kids toys, and it's awesome.
Nice.
That's what it's for.
Charities are a good cause, you know. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
in the VR chat community, there's a lot of charities and a lot of good, honest people that are running these
Mm-hmm.
charities. I remember Nags did one for breast cancer, and then what was the other one? Suicide awareness, I think.
Uh, it was the American. It was like the American Suicide Prevention.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. It was really good. It turned out really well. I think both of those ended up amassing like above $20,000 each, which was really nice.
Yeah,
So
I think he's raised probably what, 40,000 or $50,000 in charity. It's
I'd say
crazy.
about 50, 55. Yeah.
Holy smokes. That's,
Yeah, he's nuts. Nags is on top of it, bro.
well, this interview is more about you. I just wanted to mention that for a minute, but
I
yeah. So
don't mind bragging about people.
yeah, well. So my first question to you is, how did you get into VR chat, my man? Like, how did you initially end up playing this game and being addicted as much as I am? Like, when did that start?
Um, well, it actually started. My IRL friend showed up to my house one day, and he's like, "Yo, I got VR," and I'm like, "Really?" So he pulls out his like cell phone and like that cheapy plastic headset from like Walmart. And he slaps it in and he like shows me a couple of like mobile games that are set up for VR. And I'm like, that's pretty neato. And I was like kind of interested in VR, but I was like, yeah, it's just a gimmick at this point. There's no way it's actually gonna, get all like blow up as much as it has. So that was my first introduction into VR. But later on, he figured out how you can use the cell phone for a VR headset for your PC. So he comes over to my house and he's like, yo, I got this. I got it all set up. It's pretty great. I'm like, awesome. So he slaps it back on me. He downloads VR chat because he's like, have you heard of VR chat? I'm like, no, not at all. I'm like, I'm not going to play it if it costs money. He's like, no, it doesn't cost money. You can just play it for free. I'm like, oh, really? This is neat. So I sit down, he downloads his software, and I was able to jump into VR chat. And then at first it was kind of crazy. So I was like sitting there with like an Xbox 360 controller. So I jump into the tutorial world. I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, this is so weird. Like just being in like an actual 3D environment and able to move around, even with the Xbox controller. It was just crazy. And he's like, what's your favorite game? And I'm like, Banjo-Kazooie, hands down. He's like, all right. So he types in like Banjo-Kazooie and Spiral Mountain, which that map still exists, and you can still get on it. It popped up and we jumped into that map and like there it was, like right there in a 3D like Spiral Mountain. Even though it was on this crappy like little like stupid cell phone, right? It was still amazing to me because never in my life did I ever think I'd be in that 3D environment when I was like 8 years old playing Banjo-Kazooie. So it was just so freaking cool. And then I stopped playing and then I didn't play it on desktop mode. My friend didn't have his phone available or anything like that. So I was just like, all right, you know what? I'm convinced. I'm buying a VR headset. And then like 2 months later, I worked on my like part-time job, and then the day after, no, it was the day of Thanksgiving, the package showed up, or it was like on the 24th, so it's like the day before, and the package showed up for my Oculus Rift. Popped it in, played VR chat like in earnest for the first time, and it was wonderful. I was addicted ever since. I couldn't stop playing. It was so cool. I looked forward to it every day.
That's
Still do.
crazy. That's crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
you've been playing longer than I have, technically speaking. You've been playing for like what, like 2 years? You would say over that.
Yeah, the first day I logged in was at least what it's clocked at the day I downloaded VR chat onto my at least on LilBagel, not LilBagel's account, on the other previous account that I had was November 25th, 2017.
You're coming up on your 2 years then, for at least that count.
Yes, indeedy.
Same with me.
Yeah.
Mine's December 10th, 2017, and tomorrow would mark
Heyo.
it 1 year, 11 months. So
Heck yeah.
I'm an old man.
And what a crazy 2 years it's been. Like, you see all kinds of change and stuff in the game, and the community goes different which ways, and you
Exactly.
know, right and wrong ways. Like, there's it's just a community of people. It's inherently human, the community. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're all humans.
Yeah.
No AI allowed.
Well, Ripple.
I
Nope.
mean, it's
Sorry,
true. I
guys.
mean, everyone's a human, even if you
Mm.
play a robot. But
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's been a long 2 years. It's crazy. You see a lot of people come and go. A lot of people quit.
Mm.
Some people stick around. Some people only get on, um, to hang out with friends on weekends, and then that's it. Like they don't stream it anymore or make videos and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. But it's understandable. That happens in every community. Same thing with like any game. Talk about League or Call of Duty or anything. There's drama. There's toxicity. There's people that come and go. It's the same thing. People, especially as a streamer, it's like every so often you hop on the new games. Everyone's playing Death Stranding right now. In a week, everybody be playing something else. Last week it was like Call of
Yeah.
Duty. It's same craziness. But like when you're a streamer though, you got to spend a lot of money though, right? Because like you got to buy all the hot games. It just takes forever. VR chat's a free game. I mean, all the money I spent was just on avatars and the headset. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It is. I'm somebody who's extremely passionate about this community and like always has been. Um, and I do, because of that reason that you just pointed out, where VR chat's a nice little free game to escape into. I um I really respect the game as more. I view it more as a society more so than just a game, if that makes sense. Mainly because so it's not that people are like living their daily lives in here, which I'm sure there probably
yeah,
is,
there's people that
but
sleep.
yeah, which I don't have a problem with that. But the thing is that it feels like it's like a developing society almost. It's kind of awesome to see it that like we're kind of like the first pioneers to kind of. Well, I mean, I guess we're not the first, are we? Because like MMOs like kind of develop their own society too, don't they?
Yeah,
It's just
gaming.
bound to happen. Yeah, it's
I
just
mean,
bound to
this
happen.
society has changed a lot in the last 2 years. I mean, people change, and I made memes about it all the
Mm.
time. The boomer memes and the zoomer memes of VR chat. How people used to do things, and now people are just sort of like making their own communities and their own events, and everybody has their own club. It's almost like everyone and their mom owns a club at this point in time in this game, and it is what it
Mm.
is. But that's just the way things are. When this game was first blown up, there's like 100 people in the game, and you knew everybody, and it was very simple, and avatars are very simple too. And nowadays, avatars are crazy, and they're all wild, and and most people just
I
hang
mean,
with their
take
friends.
you and I, for example. I would consider this pretty wild. We're out kind of outside the outside the box when it comes to these things. Like we've actually paid money for these models, to represent us in a way that we want to be represented in a digital game. So
Hey, I've changed a lot.
it's
I
kind of
spent a lot of money,
yeah.
like thousands of
Mm.
dollars.
Jesus. All right, we don't even want to get into that.
Yeah,
Like
actually,
Jesus
yeah, I
Christ.
actually don't want to look up my expenses. I don't want to look at my PayPal history. It's gonna be real
Yeah, no,
bad.
neither do I. It cries. It's gonna cry.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, if you're ever curious what I'm doing with my hand, I'm switching the camera. That's how I switch the camera.
I kind of figured I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna ask about it, so it
But
was
yeah.
it was almost it was pretty obvious.
Zoe was in the game before 150 players. I was in the game when there was less than 1,000 at least. But I played in December, early
Yeah.
December. So yeah.
The thing is the closeness of the community back then was really interesting because I mean the community is still pretty close. I mean, if you play the game long enough, you're gonna meet like eventually you're gonna it's only like a matter of time before you like run into somebody who is yes, quote unquote known in the community. Um and it's nuts because we're a bigger community, but man, we're still in our infancy. We've it's only been around for like what, or like after the boom. It's just trying to get used to it and stabilize and come to like some kind of equilibrium. It's been like 2 years, since
Mhm.
that like initial boom. So it's like it's still kind of like trying to get stable in what the people want the game to be, and the game's also changing because we're waiting for the new Unity 2018, which will change how things are done as well with all the updates that are coming there.
Speaking of
So
that, they posted a blog post last night. It's coming in next
hmm
week or two, I would say. This is soon, but I would say probably in a week or two because they have to push all that stuff out before December. So, and it's almost midway through November, so they have to push it out pretty pretty
yeah,
soon.
my prediction was after Spookality they would have released they would have waited a couple of weeks for people to still enjoy all of the Halloween maps that were created, and then they were
Yeah,
going to bust everything by
end of
going out with
November.
like
Yeah,
Unity 2018. Yeah, so towards the end of November is where I would stage it at.
exactly. And I was talking about it earlier, but yeah,
Yeah.
like the network IK looks a lot better. There's a thing called Avatars 2.0. I have no idea what the hell that is supposed to be.
I don't
Um,
know if any of us do. We
there's
just know it's called
expressions.
Avatar
Yeah.
2.0.
What else?
No.
Improvements. Udons early or closed beta, and then open beta sometime in December, and then it's full releases in Q1 2020. So I thought it was gonna be full release before the end of this year, but no, they pushed it back until spring. I mean, the full release. I mean, it'll be out. You can
Mm,
play it. Use it and use maps. It's just it's not gonna be fully public until early 2020, which
right.
um, what else? Network IK. What else? I don't know. They have an update to like the UI and stuff, so maybe they're gonna have new menus and shit. I don't know, something like that.
New menus.
I said new UI, and
Yeah, I saw that too.
so I don't know
That would
how.
be interesting.
Yeah, because like we have these menus literally for over 2 years now, and they're trash, and it takes 10 years to invite anyone to any world and look them up, and then
Yeah.
when you search people's names, and you can't invite people that way. You have to do it from online friends or your friends groups. You cannot search someone and then invite them that way. It's impossible. It does not work, which is really dumb.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty dumb. Well, the thing is that you know, I am friends with Rubik. Rubik is a really, really great guy. I love him to death. He is definitely working his butt off on the networking stuff. That guy shows up to like events that I have, and like all he's doing is in desktop mode. He's just sitting there, like he likes the background noise while he works, because it's just background noise. Like
yeah,
people sometimes don't like a stream the background or
that's what
music.
people tell me.
Yeah,
For
he
me,
just joins into community events, and then he'll just kind of chill out in desktop mode, but he's working, so we know. And man, they are really me personally, like with the amount of manpower they have, this is a lot of stuff that they're doing right now. So
hmm
it's it's kind of crazy. And right now, as I understand it, because if you like look up the careers and jobs, they're even looking to hire like a web engineer, like a professional one. Um, so I'm imagining that's going to, if they can get somebody that's actually like really good at getting the website design down, that and also help them out with all the networking stuff and with the cloud security and things like that, we're gonna see like a completely new VRC because that guy is gonna be awesome. And we're hoping they hire somebody like that very soon, rather than later. That would be great. That would be probably single-handedly one of the best things that happen for the dev team because they need help. They do.
$10 million.
So, oh, that's what they're spending it on. They're trying to hire people's,
Where's my
but
cut?
it can be difficult. Yeah, it can be difficult. Where's my cut?
Hey man,
You
I
know?
advertise this game every day. I get people to play this game, and
Mm,
I sell literally headsets to people. Literally, I say, yo, buy this headset. I've sold probably 1 million headsets. Where's my cut? Just give me 1%.
exactly.
Come on.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah. What do you?
Bam.
Yeah.
I want my cut too.
Yeah.
Where's my
Content.
cut?
Literally, content creators
Or hire me.
advertise
Actually,
this
better
game for
yet,
free.
VRC, hire me. How's that sound?
I mean, they
Community
hire
support. Give me the job.
world creators and stuff. Noe, and
Hmm.
what's the other me, what
Yep.
am I, whatever. They both for people that literally made their own stuff for fun, and they both work at VRChat now.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but where's my cut?
Me. Yo, there's a community support job. Please hire me. Read my resume.
Can my job
Hire
be
me, please.
customer support, and I just tell people to shut up and just take it like a
I
man?
mean, you know what?
Yeah, some alpha
There could be
males
some
up
room
in
for
here.
you.
Yeah, we need some
That's
alpha
right.
males up in here. I'd be like, no, I'd be a moderation team. Can I be a moderator and just fucking be like, shut up and just ban people? Shut the fuck up. Yo, you playing as fuck
Just like just
the
show
abuse
up.
of power. Yo, listen, you
You
playing
just
one of
show
those.
up and somebody's complaining about their frames that are dropping, but meanwhile they're using the fur shader tails, and then you're just like,
And I'm like, what the
it's like,
fuck? I'll just call him out. I'm like, what
what
the
did
hell's
you?
wrong with you? Why are you using
What
this?
is wrong with you?
Delete
Yeah,
this avatar.
exactly.
Use the alien avatar. It's better. Recommendation.
use the alien avatar or ban.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
no, please. Oh, Jesus, curse them into Area 52. That's where we'll put them.
Yeah.
Or Area 52. It's right next to Area 51, but it's where all the VR waifus go that are cursed.
Well, I've always said this. I feel like VRChat has a lot of opportunities for advertisements, and they don't take advantage of it. So what I mean by that is like every time you play this game, you have to load into a world, right? And then you look at those loading menus, and nobody cares, and nobody reads them because they're redundant, and nobody you already know how to block people. It's for like noobs, it's for like someone who hasn't played the game for like an hour, and now they know. So like it's just useless information. So instead, I've always said, why don't they just put ads there? It doesn't have to be a video. It could just be a picture of like, yo, buy an Oculus now, or buy a Vive, or get trackers. It could be as simple as that.
As somebody who worked in advertising, you didn't sell that very well because at the very beginning you're like nobody pays attention to it. So then you're like, but then you can put an ad there because no one pays attention. It's like, oof.
Well, no, I mean
But no,
like,
I see where you're coming
I'm
from.
just saying like nobody pays attention because it's useless
Hmm.
information that everyone knows already. It's kind of like you play
Yeah.
Dark Souls or any other game, and they just, or like not dark, you know what I mean? Like traditionally games when they have loading screens, they tell you how to punch, press X to punch. I'm like, I already know how to fucking
Tool
do that.
tips.
It's like I already know how to do that,
Yeah.
idiot. Like I don't need to read that 1,000 times. When you play this game every day, if it said like, hey, check out these worlds, or like, I don't know, like get a quest or get a Oculus Rift. I mean, it's money at least, right? That's how ads work. It doesn't matter if you click it or not. It's the same thing with websites. I have a
Hmm.
degree in interactive media design, which is making websites and coding websites. You have ads. That's why you have ads on the left and the right. They're annoying as
Hmm.
fuck, but they give the website money. So it's the same thing with a video game. If you have ads
Yeah.
in the game, it gives them money, it gives them revenue, so they don't have to depend solely on investments. They
Me
have income.
me personally, like I'd be terrified to see the because we're already aware of what these major corporations are capable of doing and dismantling a community by completely
Ready Player One.
taking them down like from the ground up. YouTube. So
Ew.
like we already see what advertisements can do to people, and so I don't at least from the major corporations, anyways. I mean, I could see if you could do it right, it would be great, but I mean, you can't just assume that people are always going to manage it properly because
Can't make everyone
those
happy, man.
corporations end
Of
up,
course.
yeah, they end up They end
Well,
up putting their
I'm more
freaking hands in the.
focusing on the investors they already have. So that'd be Facebook,
Right,
advertisements,
yeah.
and Vive, which are both their investors of VRChat. So it would make sense to have ads of your
Hmm.
own investors into the game. And it's just as simple as buy this headset. I don't know, like how else you could. It just seems very basic, but at least it's something, right? It's better than what they have now. I just feel like the tooltips
Mm-hmm.
right now are just very useless to someone who's played this game for almost 4,000 hours, and the average
Well,
user with 10 hours probably doesn't care about those tooltips.
I think what they actually came up with as a way to earn money is a lot more lucrative than that, and I'm in full support of it because I mean I can't say a lot, but what I can say is I like it.
What, the
I
virtual
like the
economy?
idea. Um, I mean, that would be something. Yeah, definitely for sure. That would be kind of cool to see. Kind of like how Eve Online works. You know what I mean? Where like they have
No.
their own ISK, but that has like kind of actual monetary value though. Like it's kind of crazy.
You mean like buying properties and stuff like that?
Well, it wouldn't be like that. I'm just saying in terms of like the basis. Like it's just an economy at the very core. Like for VRC would be like selling avatars or like how the virtual market ran. You know what I mean? Like you were
You
talking
have to be
about.
you have to be careful with that though, because like
You do.
99% of this game is literally
You
stolen
do.
assets, so you can't exactly see.
Yeah.
So
So
everybody would have to
yeah.
be it'd be like the Twitch partnership
Well, everyone
program.
would be.
You would have to be
Yeah. Everyone.
you have to apply for it, and you have to be reviewed.
You would have to be verified. Yes. You'd have to be verified, and it wouldn't have to. It couldn't be an automated system. It would be impossible. You would have to have it
Every
to where you
single
would.
asset would have to be reviewed.
Yes, every asset would have to be reviewed as well. I mean, that's just like business, isn't it? So if you claim copyright on something and there's a
Exactly.
huge investigation to make sure that you're not infringing on somebody else's copyright. So
Exactly.
when you apply for it, so yeah, it would be a huge pain in the butt. But who knows? Who knows? We don't even know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it just we'll figure it out eventually. I don't know. Like you said, VRChat's still in its infancy, but I feel like
Mm.
either VRChat gets its shit together or another company's gonna come out of nowhere and just clobber it. Because there's no competition,
Yeah,
right? There's
there's no
nothing.
competition at the moment.
There
No.
are other social games. They mentioned this like 100 times. There are many other social games, but none of them on the level of VRChat. VRChat's up here. The competition's all the way down here in terms
Oh
of
God, and the
playership
competition
and
right now
stuff.
is so far off target with keeping community in mind right now. It's kind of crazy. Like all of the alternatives have no idea. I talk to them and I try to get a feel for what they're doing with their communities and stuff, and
Hmm.
it's never they're never focused on the general public. It makes no sense. So like for instance, there's this Sansar, for instance, they were actually at TwitchCon. It was really funny, like when I showed up, and everyone was kind of laughing when they saw me like going into another like VR social game. But it was so funny because there was so much branding in that game. Like it was like everywhere, like the Monster Energy drink and stuff like that,
Ready
Red Bull,
Player
and like
One,
all
bro.
kinds of branding was all over the place. Like that was the first thing I noticed, and like the second thing I noticed that was crazy was they actually do have a good event system. I will give them that. If VR Chat looks at how they're doing their events and they take notes, that would make VR Chat so much better because you can actually schedule events and have it to where like the instance is basically opened on its own. You don't have to make it and then wait in there. You
Oh,
just
I see.
set it up and then it says an event and then boom. Like it's really cool. But the one thing I was laughing my butt off at was just like when I was sitting there talking to them, they were saying things like, "Yeah, it's gonna be great. Like you organize meetups for all your Twitch fans inside of this game. Wouldn't that be great?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that is not how you want to start growing your
I'm
community
gonna
like
say it,
at
dude.
all."
I'm gonna say it. You know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that would
It's
be that would be
terrible.
the absolute worst way to start your community because now you're starting a community that has in mind that they're only going to be there for the like the one guy, and if that guy stops playing then they all do. Like, yeah, it's not a
Oh.
community, man. So That's I don't see how that's stable.
Yeah, there's many YouTubers that sort of grow their community by doing that in VR chat. Like
Hmm.
they'll make videos, and then like every video it's like 30 people surrounding them, and then like the moment they get
Hmm.
off, all these people just ditch. Like they're just only there for that YouTuber or
Gone.
streamer, and it's just that's not
It'd
how you do
basically
it.
be that, but the video game.
Yeah, like that's a really
Yeah.
dumb way to like. I mean, I could get it like if you did like once like a month or something. You know what I mean? Like just like a get together, but like that to be the main purpose of the game is no. That's really dumb. Like people have fun in VR
Yeah,
chat because
that
it's
was not.
spontaneous and
Yeah.
random and being silly and
They also try to advertise that you can also sell event tickets inside of the game as
oh
well. And I'm
my
just like,
god,
who'd want to
what?
do that? Like, what exactly?
Yo,
Like, so
you I'll sell
they
you my
want to
meet and greet,
charge money
dude.
to do like,
Listen, if you
yeah,
want to
that's
be my
right.
friend, you have $10 a pop. $10 to be my friend.
That's right. That's right. Or you can just do it in VR chat where it's free.
Oh.
So like,
No,
rip,
there's people in VR
I
chat
mean,
that do sell their friendship.
sometimes. Oof.
Yeah, hey,
I
you
mean,
want to be my
I would say
friend?
that's true.
Give me $10. I'll add you right
Yeah.
now. Anyone in the chat right now, give me $10. I'll add you right now.
Rip, rip.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna hang
Ripperoni.
out with you. It just means I'm gonna accept your friend request.
Fucking A. Yo, you're not even gonna hang out with a guy, dude. He gave you enough money to take you both out for a good lunch, and you're not
What
even
do
gonna
you
treat him.
mean? I
Damn.
said $10 to
You're
add me
gonna
on my
do him in
friends
like
list.
that.
What do you mean? I said $10 to
I
add me.
couldn't
It didn't
believe it.
say $10 to
You
be
can't
your.
even afford taking him to the pub to have a nice date. Oh yeah, well you can't do that anymore anyways. You get crashed like immediately.
What do you mean? I go to a
Rip.
private instance to be a one-on-one.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little private day. Stream it. Make some content out of
Ooh.
it.
Ooh.
No, I'm saying these jokes because
Damn.
I don't know. We can switch topic here, but there's something I always wanted to talk about, and I never really publicly talked about it too much. I've sort of talked about it a little bit, but what made me angry, as a streamer, as a content creator, as someone who's a part of this community, is that people always want to be a part of something. So what I mean by that is like when I made the community or when I made the wall, it was mostly just my friends. And more recently, people you were there. Like there's people that asked me like, "Hey, can I be added to
Mm-hmm.
it?" And it's almost like
Mm-hmm.
bribery. Like I've actually people offered me like $20 to be added to that wall. I'm like, no, that's you don't buy friendship. That's not how this game works. Like
Yeah.
everyone on that wall is my friend. They're not. Yes, they are streamers because I'm just a social person and know a lot of people. Yes, they are like the streamers, YouTubers, avatar creators, map creators, but a lot of them are just normal people that I've known for such a long time, and I wanted to have them on a wall.
Mm.
And the wall's mostly for me, honestly. Like it was to look back on and be like, look at all these memories and friends I've made, and if I'm ever feeling down or depressed, I'll look at the wall and be like, these are all my friends that have my back. That's what it was for. And when someone comes up to me and says,
Yeah.
"Hey, can I be added to that wall? I'll give you $20." It's like, what the fuck? What is this? Like, does that mean that all those friends aren't real friends and you have to pay money to be my friend
Mm.
now? Like that's not okay. And that makes me angry.
Yeah. Yeah. I could completely understand that. That's because it just comes off as kind of super disingenuous. You know what I mean? It's just like you just want to be. It kind of feels like you want to be kind of associated with the entire group of people than just the single person that you're asking to be added to the wall. And like one of the ways that you do that is in the past, and that was something that was asked to me a lot when I had like 300 followers. People wondered, it's like, Bagel, how are you able to interact with all these people and you're so small? I'm like, I mean, number one, it helped that it was a smaller community back then. But like number two, like it's not like I said I didn't go around like begging to be included into stuff. It just kind of happened. Like
Yeah.
I didn't beg for any of it. Like there were situations I was just there, like right place, right time. Yeah, I know it sucks. Sometimes people can't be, but time zones and such. It's just like back then there was just so much that was happening. There was so much. I don't know. I guess I equivalent it to volunteer work in a community. Eventually, people in the community will know your name if you volunteer enough. Like, there's a guy who is a perfect example, like an IRL example of this. There's a guy in my hometown who all he does is he's retired. He just gets on his lawnmower and he just like mows the grass, volunteer work for the parks. That's all he does. And then literally they had a meeting at City Hall where they're like, we're gonna hand him $100, like Walmart gift card. Like it's a mayor and stuff who just wants to hand this guy like $100. Like he's not getting paid. It's not official, and they have to do it as they present it as a gift as well. So like, but it's nice. It's a nice gesture. It's like, hey, thanks, dude, for like helping us all out. You know what I mean? The point being with all that is like you volunteer enough, and then eventually people will know you. Like if that's what you're worried about, but like do good for the sake of doing good. Not do good for the sake of clout. Like I would imagine that would be obvious, but who knows?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, there are people that are good and eventually get recognition for it. I mean, it just happens. Some people are a lot of clout chasers, and I mean that's just the way nature is with any community, and especially when the game was blowing up. Because when I started playing this game, I played a character. I said this 100 times. I played Kenny K. Kona. I stuck out like a sore thumb because I put on an accent, pretended I was a hillbilly, and my avatar literally was a middle-aged man that looked like he was straight out of something else that made no goddamn sense, but everyone else is a lolly, or some anime weeb.
Mm-hmm.
So, and me being a
When
character,
Hopeless introduced me to you for the first time, man, I was dying. I was
sure,
laughing
brother.
my
It's
ass
because
off.
I'm
It was
playing something that
amazing.
nobody else is, and everyone else sort of is
Mm-hmm.
comfortable in conformity of being like a very similar concept. I
Mm-hmm.
was that one outlier, so everyone recognized me and knew who I was because I was the only one with that avatar at the time. And it's
Mm-hmm.
very hard. Like you could notice me in any room. I hung out in just random publics, and streamers would walk up to me because they would hear me, be like, "Who the fuck is this hillbilly in this game? It makes no goddamn sense." And I got noticed because I was
Mm-hmm.
different. Doesn't mean that you have to do exactly what I did. No, don't. Like, I've made a lot of
Yeah.
mistakes at this community, and me being like really negative towards anime and like everything besides being American was probably not the
Yeah.
smartest decision I ever made. But I mean,
I,
it
I
worked
think
for me in
I
the
think
end.
honestly everyone's made mistakes in this community, I would say. Like there's not a single person I think who's just done things perfect. There's no way. Like I think one of the things that I would probably judge the most about the community is probably being too fast to damn somebody who messed up. That is
Finger game.
something I don't like seeing at all because it's like, guys, can you just like chill out for like a second and realize that, people mess up and you don't need to be judge, jury, and executioner like every time. You can like kind of bring that chill level a
Hey
bit.
man, most drama in this community is dumb as fuck, man. It's high school drama.
It really is though. There's actually a really good question in here, by the way, in your chat.
Oh, what's the question? Oh, what do you see in the main
Karma.
VR chat community? What makes you put your hopes in them? Um, what makes me give hope in this game? It's just the people I know. Like, well, I'll give an example, right? So, for a long time, I've failed and done a lot of things. For the past 2 years, I've done a lot in this game. I role played, I improv, I did serious role play. I used to be a waifu hunter. I used to be a pimp, trap patrol, thought patrol. Uh, I played a dude for a year and a half. I did. I used to run clubs. I used to do a lot of this game, and a lot of it was fail. Like I've tried it and done it, and I even had a podcast with Ladle. Um, so many different things. I had podcasts of Team Five, Midnight Central, everything, and I don't regret any of it because it's all learning. But what I've learned is that it's better for me personally to rely on myself than rely on others. Uh, for just for me. I know that sounds like I'm being
Hmm.
selfish, and you should rely more on the
No,
community.
not at all.
But
Not at all. You
for
sound like
me,
somebody that's self-sufficient.
yes, for me, I wanted to be more self-sufficient because when I have to rely on other people for projects, it always falls apart. I actually had an idea. I've showed this before on stream after interviews where I actually a year prior I was actually going to do a news show. It was going to be called like Midnight News or something like that. And I had basically this, like a
Hmm.
setup like this. I had like a news anchor stand, and I had like a bunch of different segments, and I was the only one working on it. And then I asked like other people, like, "Yo, they're interested, but they never showed up." So it never got anywhere because I was relying too heavily on other people. But now I do this. I literally do everything myself. I do all the times. I do timesheets, the forums, the setup, the camera work. I do everything myself. I'm self-sufficient. So,
Hey, man, that's how it's done.
but to answer more of the question about like the community, like what gives me hope in the community, There are good people that, you know, I know there's a lot of negativity, but there's still like good people out there that, you know, Cyan Laser, who makes a lot of great, awesome worlds and prefabs, and the VR chat prefabs world or prefab Discord and stuff. There's a lot of good people out
Mm-hmm.
there. Not every, like, you know, like there's always going to be a negative and there's going to always be a positive, and I feel like there is those people that are going to take like Udon in the next update seriously and, you know, do some cool stuff.
I already know there are. The prefabs community is extremely excited to just grab these tools and run with them. They've been begging for this stuff for so long. So yeah, it's gonna be nuts whenever those tools are actually given to people.
Someone said nice bops. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Do you mind if I take a crack at that question?
Sure, yeah, of course.
So what do I see in the main VR chat community, and what makes you put my hope in them? So my consideration, I think first you would have to that question has to kind of be dissected a bit, because what is your definition of the main VR chat community? That is different for each individual. Some
Yes.
people, their community is a single person, like Zentreya or Nags or Oath or whatever, or whoever they see as like their person in the community. But then you have the community, which is the people who play the game, just in general, who play the game. It's just your definition, but mine, what I consider the definition of the community being, is the main VR chat community to me are the people that log on every day, and that's like everyone. So I don't care if you're a streamer or normal person that plays the game or whatever. We're all in this one big hodgepodge of a community, and whether people want to think about it or not, decisions that are made at any point in these communities affect everyone at large. Especially the bigger communities, they send large ripples because it can change the environment of the community so quick. But what makes me put my hope in these people is the fact that, like, it's just so inherently human. I've been shown so much kindness in this game, like just me personally through my friends and the people I love to hang out with. And then on top of that, the charity, like, it's holy crap. Like, in total, after this charity is over with, if we reach our $10,000 goal for Toys for Tots, we have amassed. I would pin it close to around 80K for charity in total. Like, the amount of charity that is just goes around in this community is absolutely insane. Um, that's what makes me put a lot of hope in these people. And and some of them, and some people, like, man, they're like super sad and they're lonely or they're lost in life. And this game affords them the opportunity to meet somebody they can look up to, because maybe they didn't have that in life. And it's nuts to see them, like, improve their own lives and grow. That's what gives me hope in the community. It's so inherently human. Um, I can't. I have a plethora of people that I look up to in this community who, I see as examples of people to be like, and they exist in my own friend group, and people who are known in the community that really influence it in ways that I wouldn't be able to, just because they possess skills I don't. And it's just, it's awesome. Like, I love this community so much. So I put my hope in these people because it's easy. They've already proven that they can do a lot of good. It's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Um,
Yeah.
I would say, like, to add to what you said, like, community can also talk about people who make avatars and worlds too. Like, I feel like it's everybody who, like you said, like anybody
Hmm.
that plays this game. You don't have to donate to be a part of the community. It's not like that. It's just
Yeah.
if you play the game, you're part of this community. So,
Well, they
um,
donated their time to make the content, so that's I would definitely say that counts. Like, those map makers are just incredible people. Without them, this game would not exist, and they are
exactly.
completely underrated. The map makers are absolutely
Yeah, imagine if
110%
it,
underrated.
if the only world, I think the only world's made of the devs is like the hub and meeting bunker
Mm.
and your house, home. I don't know. That's about it.
The default spawn, yeah, default home
That's
spawn.
about
Yeah.
it. Every other world is made by somebody in this game, including the Great Pug. A lot of people forget about
Mm-hmm.
that, you know? Like the worlds that are like
Yeah.
really well polished, like the Great Pug, that's made by a player. Same with Void Club and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people forget that, you know, this game is literally Battle This 2. Battle This wasn't made by the devs, I don't think. It was made by somebody, I think. Was it? I don't remember.
I
I,
don't think it was. I don't remember. I think it's one of the default games that may have been made by one of the devs. I
okay.
think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure.
Maybe,
We can
maybe,
actually just check, can't we?
yeah.
Hold on. We're in the game. Why are we asking this question? We can just
I don't know.
look
I
it
haven't been
up.
there in
Like we don't even
literally a
have to
year,
look.
so I don't even know.
Wait, I got this. I got this. Battle discs created by VR Chat. Yep.
Okay, well,
Okay,
let's
done.
see. What does VR Chat mean?
Question
They made
answered.
2018 Home, Presentation Room, 2018 Hub, VR Chat Home, The Hub, VR Chat Hub, Battle Disc, Rock and Bowl, Steel and Gold, Penthouse at Night,
Mm-hmm.
Tutorial, The Old Hub, CTF, Times Square, Help Worlds, Penthouse, Sculpting Studio, Minor Dispute, Meeting Bunker, Halloween 2018, Space Station. I've never been there. Tutorial and timeout, example actions, example triggers,
They
spook
made a lot,
hub
but
2019.
like it's still such a minuscule amount of maps compared to how many there are in the game, especially on a daily basis. With the community labs being a thing, it's just we get new maps every day. It's crazy. Some good, some absolute.
Yeah, exactly. So
Some just like a box with like a PNG image of Shrek for no reason. So, you know,
a
whatever, dude.
contributing. So one of my questions I wanted to ask was, so how did you go create your avatar that you have now, like the one that represents you and your brand?
Oh, no, that is a bit of a story. Are you familiar with Katawa Shoujo?
Yes.
Okay, so Lily was the first inspiration for my
Is Lily
avatar.
the one with no legs? I forget. Or
No, no, Lily Sato is the one that's blind
oh,
in the
she's
game.
okay, the
So,
blind one.
so for those
I
that don't
remember.
know,
It's
Katawa Shoujo is just basically like a one of those visual novel things games
what
where like you
Katawa
basically date a bunch
Sojo
of girls that have different disabilities.
stands for disabled
So
girls, I think. That's what the
yeah,
English
yeah, it does.
translation is. So
Exactly.
yeah,
And to me, I really enjoyed it because it was actually one of the very few games that were like that that I could ever actually stand playing because it was actually written well. So all the other ones are just kind of like I feel like played too much into tropes. This one I felt was just like I don't know, inherently more engaging and human. But Lily, oh my goodness, 110% waifu. Let me tell you what, best girl. So my first avatar was based off of like Lily Sato, which is why the colors were blonde and tan for the get up because that
oh,
was what
that's
she was
right.
wearing. Yes.
I've played that game
So and
literally
that's
like
why the
five
hair was
years,
blonde.
so I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
so
know
that's why my hair was blonde.
there's the blind girl, deaf girl, the girl has no
Yeah.
legs, no arms, and the girl has been burned.
Now, after that, the change for color ended up happening because I actually got some different when I upgraded to Bagel 2.0, which was so Bagel 1.0, that was made by Shinnok, which is the same person that made Oathmeal and Lanfear's models. I was the first model he had made for somebody. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I was his practice. So he did it for me for free for practice. And he made Bagel 1.0, and I love it to death. It's like one of the best. It's one of the ones I use the longest. Um, and it was great, but of course it wasn't my own, and I was like, well, I've got to make my own avatar and my own image eventually one of these days. So I asked the person who made Zentrea's model whenever she got her first unique model from scratch. I asked that person, which is Vexarius. Um, Rising Vex is his name. And then I commissioned him to make Bagel 2.0, which was still blonde and had the tan get up. It was just made from scratch at that point and better suited for full body, which was great.
Nice.
And then I ended up having Yash change the colors to match Automachi Una, which when I was mute, I used to be in the Automachi Una MMD model. So before I even had my own avatar, I was Automachi Una just running around giving brushies to people or like ASMR stuff, which was great. I loved it because it made people really happy and people really enjoyed it. It was really nice and relaxing. But then, so I changed my colors to Bagel 2.0 to reminisce to that moment, to kind of call it back to my mute days since I wasn't mute anymore, and I kind of miss them still. Um, and then we went from that to this avatar now because after I played, after that avatar was kind of head swapped with a Monica model. It was given like a purple get up, and I really liked that look a lot. And then that's what you're seeing here today is that you see this avatar, So this is technically like Bagel like 4.0
Oh,
essentially.
nice.
And this is like the inspiration from this is just like that kind of culmination between like Lily Sato and everything like that. But then it started drawing more from Monica from uh,
Doki
Doki Doki
Doki.
Literature Club. So it's got a lot of Monica vibes, as you can see in this model. So,
Oh, jeez. Monica. I'm scared.
oh, geez.
Oh, jeez. Where's
Yeah.
Doki Doki Part 2? Yeah, the game's supposed to come out like 2 years ago, but it never did. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyway, it's supposed to be work in progress anyway. I don't know. I could talk about my process. I mean, yeah, I've been all over the place. I played. My character was Kenny from Telltale's The Walking Dead, which doesn't exist anymore. The company went
Mm-hmm.
under, so I used that model. Obviously, I didn't own it, but a friend of mine named Wyatt, who I haven't talked to in a very long time, but I didn't know how to make models or anything. I knew how to import stuff. Like I imported the model myself, but it didn't have Fize memes. It didn't have that or eye tracking. So I asked him, and he was like, because he had the same Kenny model, but his had the eye patch. So like he was kind of like the evil twin, you know. And he said like, oh, I could hook you up. I know how to devise memes because the problem was when you use models, their game assets models like that, um, they actually have 3D bones. Like they actually have a mouth like inside here and like actual eyeballs, like 3D eyeballs, and it's very hard
Oh.
to get them to actually work properly. It's way tougher than MMD.
Mm-hmm.
MMDs you just put casts on, you call it a day, you got the blink animation, easy clap. But back then it was really tough, so you had to make all those Vias memes himself. You had to actually do all the blend shapes and everything. And I was very grateful he did it. And then had that, and then I started making up different. I got bored pretty quickly, so I decided to like make
Mm-hmm.
jobs. So at the time there was a place called Thought Prison, and then in VR chat, so I said I'm gonna become a police officer, but instead of just be a cop, I'll just be a thought patrol officer. So
Okay.
I just retextured it myself, and then I had a little thing above my head that said Thought Patrol. You know, like the Lolly Army had like those things above their head that says like part of
Mm-hmm.
gangs. Mine said Thought Patrol, and I was the only one in it technically,
Mm-hmm.
because it quickly shut down within like 4 days because it's against the rules to harass players and
Yeah,
call them thoughts.
yeah, yeah. Because then they
Uh,
banned the term. Like you're not technically allowed to say it, apparently.
yeah,
So in
exactly.
reference to people, yeah, it's
Yeah,
so funny.
so it got banned, and then I asked Pill, VR Pill, I said, what about Trap Patrol? He says, well, as long as you're not harassing people, it's fine. So I said, okay. So
Okay, so I'm gonna do exactly that. I'm gonna
I'm
go
gonna
around
do
and arrest people as
exactly,
a trap. I'm
yeah, what you mean?
gonna do exactly what
And
got the word
uh,
banned in the
yeah, but
first
here's
place.
the funny part.
Oh God.
The Thought Prison, it got changed to Trap Prison, so that's why I changed to Trap Patrol. So I was like, oh, nice. The prison's it's the exact same prison. It just a little name change, and that was it. And so I just went
Hmm.
around in Publix and arrested, well, Publix and friends, and I just go around and anyone that used like a really shitty voice changer or like just like any dude that was playing a female avatar. I know the irony now, but like I don't know. At the time, I found it funny. I was just like, because,
Yeah.
but the problem was that very often people would get very upset with me. They were just like, "You're harassing me. I'm gonna get you banned. You're being, you know." And I was just like, okay. And then after a while, I stopped because I didn't want to get in trouble and actually get banned from this game. So,
Hmm.
and then after
Heaven
that, I
forbid.
became a pimp. And then I had traps work as for me. So,
Fine. If I can't get the traps or the thoughts to go to jail, I'll take them to a club instead.
yeah, that's what I
That's how
did.
it's done.
And then
Yeah, fucking got him.
I was a pimp because I did that. I started doing the pimping because full body became really popular or started really blowing up. And
Yeah.
so I had a bunch of I had a Discord called Kenny's Pimping Ring, and it was like 30 plus full body dancers, and we would go to clubs and uh, we would go to the Void Club, and I would ask people in Publix. I was like, hey, what's up, brother? You want to dance like with one of my dancers? And I would take them to the back room, And then this is also when the cameras first came out, the camera system that we all have, right? So I stuck the camera in the
Mm-hmm.
wall, and people couldn't see the
Oh my
cameras in
god.
there. It's sort of like a surveillance camera. And then I'll
Oh my
take people
god.
in there, and then they would dance. And then the dancer would dance with the person, and then I would tell the dancers unlock the door. If in like a minute or two they unlock it, and we would all rush in. Like 10 of us would rush in, and we all be police officers, and would arrest them and be like, "You're under arrest, asshole." So
Yo, yo, that would be so funny. That's amazing.
and then we would depending on the person, because obviously I can't force.
Zone.
Yeah, Zone says.
Zone is in chat.
Yeah,
Wish
what's
you'd
up,
accuse
Zone?
me of being a trap one more time.
Listen,
Hi,
Zone.
Zone.
If I see you tonight, like after this interview, I'll do it. Fuck it for old times.
That's right. For
Um,
old time's sake.
yeah, yeah, bring it back. And if depending on the person how cooperative they were, I would we would take them to the courtroom and then would actually like go into like courtroom RP and like be like
That
you've
would
been
be awesome.
staying
Yeah.
accused of hiring this what I don't know. It's entrapment. Honestly, it's illegal as fuck.
Prostitution, yeah. Yeah. You're basically,
It's
you did
entrapment.
exactly, yeah, it is.
Fuck it, dude.
Oh,
I
well, we don't care about the law on VRC,
I
apparently.
promise not to
So,
report you. Awesome. Thank you, Zone. I appreciate that.
adorbs.
And then after I did that was when I did the role play with Chips, season 4, and then I don't know. I met like all of you guys like at Landfear's estate, and I became the manager of Neckel Knights, and I still am technically. And then what else happened? Oh, before that, I did get a new model, so like I got a new face because I didn't because like
Hmm.
uh we had talks and meetings in Team 5, and we were like they're telling me like you can't have that model if you're gonna like sell T-shirts or like emotes and shit like that. You can't just take game and just put it as like an emote or whatever because it's gonna be bad for the long term, right? So I was like,
Right.
all right, so I'll hire somebody, and then I had Loathon actually help me out, and then eventually Kier, and then I had like a different version, like a face that's unrecognizable. It's still like a beard and everything, but it's like completely different 3D model. And then I got Genomu to make my.
I remember that. You were actually, you came up to me and you're like, Bagel, look, look, look. You were always wanting me to like view that model when
Yeah,
you first got it.
yep. And then I got the Genomu model, and then I had different versions, the pimp, and then the suits, and then the pimp or whatever
Hmm.
mafia shit, and then eventually. After a year and a half, I was like, "Fuck it," and then I just decided to rebrand because I wanted to leave the Kenny K Kona lifestyle and be myself. Oh, it's true. I mean,
Anu's,
it's because I.
Anu basically said is that you're the male version of Barbie
Oh my
with all your
god.
multiple jobs.
I mean, I used to play Garry's Mod all
Rip.
the time, so like I kind of the way I played
Mm-hmm.
VRChat was I was just basically emulating Garry's Mod. Like I would just be like, okay, I want to be a cop today. Oh, I want to be a pimp today. Oh, I want to be a gang member, or I want to do this. So like I
Yeah.
just basically made my character have different
Dark
jobs.
RP.
Yeah, dark RP. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just gave myself
Those days.
more and more jobs, and eventually, um, because I played Kenny so much, I try to be serious with people. Even when I was off stream, people didn't take me serious because of the accent and the character I was portraying for so long. So I decided I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
rebrand, drop the accent, and just be myself. And here we are today.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Boyo, that's a bit of a story, man. It sounds like I just had like character development kind of just like through looks. You just kind of like had your entire VR chat story
Yeah.
basically because it's just like your character was based around this like what you were doing in the game more so than like with me. It was just more like I don't know. I liked how something looked and then I just changed. You know, well,
Well,
it was like, all right,
yeah.
that's pretty
I
cool.
mean,
I'll go with
for
that
me,
then, and that's basically what I
it's
did.
also about how the way it betrayed my whole name being that one rebel. So I was the one who was going after traps, going after thoughts, and having all these jobs and doing things that because no one else was a pimp. No one else did the things I did. I was being the one outlier. I was like the one guy that was being weird and doing these
You
different
always had
things.
to be different. You always had to be the
Yeah,
rebel.
and I mean
Look
even
at you,
now
living up to your namesake.
I'm the same thing. I could be a cute anime girl with like a school outfit, and you'd be like hee hee tee hee XD, and be like
Gee, thanks.
or whatever. I mean, I could do that, but
That's exactly what I. Wait.
yeah,
Whoa.
I could do
It's
that.
like,
I could
what
have,
do you mean
I
by
could
that?
have done that, but then I was like, I want to be a tough biker
Mm-hmm.
chick, so I made her into a tough, mature-looking woman that looks like she can beat your ass. So I'm still living up to
Well,
my name of being a rebel, of being that one person that doesn't conformity. Be, stick up to the man.
yeah.
Shots
You know
fired.
what? You know what?
What?
How dare you call me out like this? How dare you? I feel so
Damn.
exposed. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
You've now turned
exposed
me
you.
into just a plain bagel. Yeah,
Shit.
exposed bagel, son of a bee. Yeah,
Damn.
but no, I was going more for like like with Monica, since she's like the president of the literature club. It's just like I was going for like class president look, anyways.
Yeah.
So it's not more like ooh woo ooh goo. It's more like the character itself is just because that's kind of how I am. Is like a bit sassy. You know what I mean? It's got a
Hmm.
little bit of a smart mouth. A little bit. I could get quite out of control sometimes. So and I know that it's like one of my flaws. But whatever. Most of the time it turns out funny, and I mean good by it most, like more often than not. I say like 99% of the time. Like I sometimes hope people don't take me too seriously when I say things,
I
because I'm
just
not
I
really
just want to be
trying to.
different. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
That's no problem with that, man.
I mean, I don't know. I've said this before, so it's not like the first time I called out people, but I just feel like a lot of people sort of follow the same suits or like same sort of the same
Hmm.
styles, like having ears and a tail. I just feel like that's generic to me, and I don't want to just be the same.
I mean, I would happen to agree. That's why I don't necessarily do it either.
I
So,
I just
you know.
for me like it's fine if you want to be part of the same, like be a Neko girl or a wolf girl or whatever.
Hmm.
That's fine. For me, I just don't want to be the same. I want to be different. That's why my whole brand and my whole online appearance is always about being the person that's different. That's not doing the same thing as somebody else. I mean, I know that doing interviews isn't exactly a revolutionary idea, but at least I'm doing something that's not the meta. Not everyone's
Well,
interviewing,
I
right?
like it. I like it because, like, you actually put in the effort to get people constantly, and then it's
Exactly.
awesome because you're able to meet
40
new members of the
interviews.
community every time. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty great. But like, you know, sorry, I got caught. Anya's like, but I'm a bunny girl. It's like a sad face. No, Anya, it's okay. You're not. I like Anya's model actually. Anya looks adorable as all heck.
Damn,
So
bunny girls,
I
bro.
don't know.
It's gonna be a great VR chat war. It's gonna be the Neko girls and
Mm,
the wolf boys, and then there's gonna be like the normal humans caught in the middle. Oh shit! It's gonna be War of the Worlds.
exactly. Oh my god. Who's gonna
Exactly.
be the last one to survive? We have no idea. Though you can place your bets today. That-
What's funny
you
is
know,
that back in the
but we're gonna.
day, there actually used to be a thing. Like there used to be a lot more gangs. So there used to be like the Kana gang and the Alien gang and Rainbow gang and all that
Well, when they
shit.
actually started doing things that were
Oh
illegal.
yeah, they did illegal shit, but I meant like just the concept of like people having conflicts. It
You know.
was like really popular, so people would like band together in like their little tribes and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna fight the Lolly army today or whatever." And I don't know.
Oh yeah, the gang war stuff. Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Zone says, "Don't worry. When Apple invests into VR chat for their upcoming VR headset, M&D content will be automatically blocked for everyone, and we'll all have to make actual custom avatars." Well, since I already
Hooray! Done.
yeah, done. Already own this.
Done.
I own all of
Done.
this. So,
Sorted. Yeah, that's your
yep.
problem. That's not my problem.
I mean,
That's your guys' problem.
just be a robot. Just be like Zone and just be a robot. What do you mean easy collab? You
Yeah, exactly.
put some stuff together, slap it together, and just a robot. Easy. Speaking of thick bots,
Hmm.
um, the TDAs would be destroyed when Apple's invest into VRC for the upcoming VR. Oh, wait. When Apple invests, what do you
Yeah.
mean? Apple's investing into VRChat?
Zone is making a joke when
Oh,
Apple, and they're making a joke as if Apple would invest into VR. Yeah, because they're coming out with their own headset, and it ended up blocking MMD models for everybody.
Okay.
So
Basically,
yeah.
just multiple cylinders. I mean, if you really want to put like really basic robots are
Thick
like,
cylinders.
yeah, they're just
Mm-hmm.
cylinder there, cylinder, just a bunch of blocks.
Done. I mean, I'm
Done.
technically just a poly, so just a giant polygon or a bunch of
I'm
a
just an
mass of
hourglass
polygons
shape.
together.
That's all I.
Boom.
That's all I am. No,
That's
it's
what you
just
gave them, like for the reference image for the. I want you to make an avatar. What do you want to look like? And you just gave them a picture of an hourglass.
Yeah. No,
I got you.
It's just
The
that
red hourglass.
it's just that VR
Yeah.
Chat gets a lot of investors from different VR headsets manufacturers. Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, like the Vive and Quest or Facebook. So we've been going for just over an hour now. We should take some
I
questions
hadn't
from the
even
chat.
noticed.
Yeah, I take notice. So if you want any questions from the chat, guys, let us know. We'll answer them. Apple has been looking into it. Would be pretty funny if they actually were to dump some cash on VR Chat.
Hey man, I'm for it.
I mean, any corporation, if they see something popular and be able to monetize it, they're obviously going to do it. Facebook's already
Just
making
get
their
Elon
own.
Musk and tell him that we have Deco girls and they're right here. Give us money.
Well, any large like Facebook is making their own social game, literally from because they've invested in VR Chat, and then they were like, oh, let's make our own game for Facebook. So
That thing is gonna be so trash.
it's gonna because you have to use like face. It's gonna say your real name and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Valve 30 party.
Yeah, who wants that?
Yeah.
It's gonna be basically the Skype of VR. It's gonna look awful.
Yeah, it's VR Chat with no legs, by the way.
Yeah.
And you says, how am I doing? I'm doing good. She wants to give me some maple syrup. I mean, I can just go to the grocery store if I want that. They canceled
that's
it?
right.
Wait, they canceled? Is that true? Because I didn't hear about that. Link me at shit or it's fake. Fake news.
Mm-hmm.
Is it difficult to implement custom avatars into VR? I'm asking from a standpoint of little to no computer knowledge. No, because basically a lot of tutorials online, YouTube, the Twitch streamers show you how to make avatars all the time. And I mean, the basic idea, if you want to just like upload like something very basic, you just rip it and just import it into the game. And it takes a little bit, it takes a couple hours, I mean, to learn how to do the process. But it's, it does take time and effort. But I mean, if you're just ripping something, not too long. Like I learned how to rip the Kenny model, and it's just not that hard. But
yeah, who freaking signs up for Facebook anymore these days? That's true.
Boomers.
Like honestly. Yeah. Rip.
Sign up from Facebook. I would delete my Facebook.
Scares me.
But I still have it just for college, just in case like if somebody's like being weird and says I only message people on Facebook. I'm like, God damn it, dude.
Dude.
Use Discord,
Facebook
bro.
terrifies me.
Same, relatable.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
And Facebook is just like sells people's like crap too. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know how they're gonna do that whole social game. I don't fucking know, but whatever.
Mm-hmm. No, they're not. They just said it was canceled.
Yeah, I trust one person in the chat.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right.
Rip.
He's gonna have to come on, get a source.
Is Bagel's favorite
thing to eat
for breakfast?
Ironically,
a bagel.
No.
Wow,
actually not. No, I don't. I can enjoy a nice breakfast bagel, like which is like a nice like a breakfast sandwich that's like a bagel, like an Einstein, like going to Einstein Bros and getting like a nice breakfast like sandwich with those bagels on it is really good. But like, no, I think my favorite breakfast item has got to be like biscuits and gravy. It's just so it's like the southern comfort of like biscuits and gravy.
Brother.
It's not even like it's infinitely like the worst thing you could probably eat in the morning. But like, I don't know, there's something about biscuits and gravy. It's just like really, really good.
Okay, we'll take one more question and we'll wrap it up. Do you believe that VR headsets or whatever, the next evolution of them, will kill off console gaming? No. Do you know that like the number one selling console is the fucking is the Nintendo and shit? Like it's never gonna kill because VR is expensive. The most cheapest one is the Quest, and it's still like what, like $400, and it only works. And you have to buy every game, and it's just, yeah, it's still not, meeting the medium. It's trying to, right? Like it's obviously getting more out there. More
Hmm.
boomers and older people are getting them for their kids and stuff like that. Definitely, but
But
it's,
Switch has cardboard VR. Hardly.
oh my god. But like it just doesn't have the the numbers yet. Like it's not like handheld, It's not like a VR system. If a VR headset was like $100, yeah, it would be fucking selling hotcakes. But that's not how the way it is. It's very expensive, and most of the time you need a really good computer. So now you're spending $2,000 to play some VR games, and it's not, you know,
Yeah, it's still too inconvenient. I mean, the thing is that it's definitely more for the enthusiast. Still, it's definitely
yeah,
still more for the VR enthusiast. It's not
it's
for
inconvenient.
the general public. It's getting close with the Quest, but it's not there at all. So
Yeah,
it's getting close though, definitely for sure. But
maybe
is it gonna actually like kill off console
maybe
gaming?
50
No. I
years.
guess like the only way I could see that is if a VR headset turned into your entertainment room. But then at that point, augmented reality would probably just replace that, would it not?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
it'd be more convenient just like put on some like sunglasses rather than this big old
Yeah.
visor on your face.
Well, it's literally a
You
pair of
know?
glasses that weigh nothing, that track
Yeah,
everything, that
exactly.
cost
So
very little. Then it's convenient for the average user. Yeah, like
that's
augmented
exactly what I
VR.
just
Yeah,
said. This is
yeah,
legitimately what
AR.
I just said. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, you say that on you. They say it probably it won't happen. You say that, but like, uh,
You never
I
know.
didn't think I'd be sitting here in VR as a anime
Yeah,
waifu
it's 10
talking to
plus.
another anime
Yeah, I
waifu.
never thought that. I thought I was gonna be a
So,
grown ass man. What the hell?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
In
I
10
thought I was
plus.
gonna be a grown ass man at the age of
Yeah,
26.
what the
Apparently
heck?
not.
No.
How did this happen?
In
Oh,
like
geez.
10 years, I think in the next 5 to 10 years we'll see better VR games, not just social games. I've always said this, like my one game that I want for VR would be like GTA, but just VR. Just like, being able to steal cars, rob banks, heist, do that shit, and then people chase after you as
Anarchy the
cops.
game. That's what you want.
Well, no, it would have to have rules. So
Anarchy
if
the game.
it'd just be everything in first person. So imagine just the RP, but everyone's first
Hmm.
person, and so you're robbing bank, driving car. You have to get a getaway driver and shit. That'd be fun.
That would be super cool. Yeah. Well, at that point,
Or
it just
MMO,
turns into like
real life
Ready Player
simulator,
One kind of.
real life
Yeah.
simulator. I want to rob this bank,
Exactly.
brothers.
Think how far VR has come since Virtual Boy. I mean, like, but I mean, is that really VR? I don't think the Virtual Boy counts.
It's virtual.
I mean, like, but it's just like a screen
Wait
on
for
your face. It
Udon, I
wasn't really
guess.
3D,
Udon
was it?
comes out in 1 month. I don't think Udon's gonna magically just. Oh, it's GTA VR now. Hey guys, yo, what's going on?
I mean, it could.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't think so. It doesn't have the foundation.
visual scripting is quite interesting.
You would have to have a
It'd
team
be,
of
yeah.
people. I think Udon it will release, and I think it will just have more game modes, just like murder. It would just be murder, prop hunt, hide and seek, maybe Counter
Yeah.
Strike. Like team deathmatch, shit like that. I could see that being made in Udon, but I don't know if
Udon will make VR chat be like the Gary's mod of VR,
exactly.
basically,
Yeah,
is
that's
what
that's
I'm shooting it
that's what I'm
as.
thinking of. Though,
Which is
if
why I think what you're talking about, like, I mean, just imagine it's gonna be like dark RP like situations in
yeah, where we just
VRC.
walk into like the police
Yeah,
station, you click a button, and like now I'm the cop, and now I can spawn like a stun stick and
yeah,
beat the shit out of people or something like that, and
exactly,
send them to jail.
exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, I'll be able to do that because the way some of the things are changing is the reason why you can't like assign things to people too easily is because everyone's like kind of under a similar ID, and I guess it's hard to determine. I'm not gonna try to get too technical, but like, because
You
I'm
can
not
do
too sure
it.
about it. But
Basically,
I know that like Cyan Laser has had like a lot of issues with these kind of things, and like there's only like recent systems that they've made in the last couple of months that's actually been able to sort through it, but apparently it's
I mean,
very
that's how murder does
unstable.
it. Everybody's the same user, and then
Yeah.
one player is picked as to be the detective, one is the murderer. It's like a randomizer.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
for like RP,
Yeah.
you would have to walk to the police station, and then like you would have to have set rules. Like for an actual RP instance, be like, hey, this person's gonna be the cop. You can't just walk up and become a police officer. Only this person. So this person will click a button that makes them a cop, and then actually have the ability to
Mm.
run around and do whatever or be a medic.
Yeah.
So it would have to be
Actually,
that.
Zone brings up another good point. Like when it comes to scripting and stuff, or like anytime a tutorial is just like, okay, it's time to script. Like I don't know, it just I feel like sometimes people are I don't know, maybe
Just
I'm
make a
bad at
script.
understanding, but like, dude, I'm like it's because I'm not literate with the verbiage that they use in the tutorials, right? And a lot of the tutorials are very assumptuous that you know what the terms they're talking about
Yeah.
means. Like not everybody knows what rendering does. You know what I mean? Like or not everybody knows what is
Hmm.
referring to. Or like all the simple things like they don't think about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
No
there
custom
needs to
scripts
be not
allowed.
only a tutorial yeah, there needs to be a tutorial for not only just like the program itself, but like could people also like release like vocabulary for it too, so we can like clearly define some things? So when
Oh,
we go through your
I see what you
tutorial, we
mean.
have
Yeah.
some point of reference of what you're talking about, because they talk like at a billion miles per hour sometimes, and they lose me. I'm like, what are they? What's going on here?
Sounds like
Great.
someone on YouTube should start from the base level and teach you what all the tools are and what the terminology. Like part one, what does rendering mean,
Yeah,
and then go from
yeah,
there.
something like that.
Well,
Something that
someone
actually
in the
like
chat
teaches
do
you
that.
game terms.
Someone do that, and then you'll make lots of money. So it's literally just you can't use this
Yeah.
tutorial in VR chat. Udon will change that too. Yeah, Zone was saying VR
Mm-hmm.
chat never allowed for custom scripts, so a lot of people would obviously modify the client and have like jetpacks and fly through the map and no clip and bullshit and whatever. And a lot of them would have actual scripts not just for players but also for worlds, like just like really cool stuff, but they were never allowed to show it or stream it because they would get banned. It's a custom
Mm-hmm.
script. But when Udon comes out, a lot of these custom scripts, like scripting, I guess, whatever you want to call it, will be allowed because Udon allows you. It's part of the tool set, so now it's enabled. So
Re.
now you can do a lot of stuff. Because I remember there's a guy that posted
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter. He made literally an Iron Man suit where he could like push himself with like he had the boots and everything, so he could fly and hover. And when he went like this, it
Oh
pushed
my gosh,
him,
that'd be kind of cool.
and then he like flew up, and it was really, really, really cool avatar. But it broke because they removed the Kerbal Space Program avatar, which has like a custom like you sit in a chair, like you make your own chair and sit in it, and then you can fly like no clip. And it was banned like after 3 days. But the guy worked so much time and effort in making like a literally realistic Iron Man suit, and it doesn't work because it's a custom script. So, but I think on that note, if you wanna wrap up here, because we've been going for a while.
How do you typically wrap up
How
around these parts?
basically I give you the floor, so that means I give you a minute and you just say what's going on. You want to shout out your Twitter, your Twitch,
Okay.
your Instagram, your Snapchat,
Sweet, sweet.
whatever's going on.
So for those who are like, what was this little bagel person who's been talking this entire time? Well, I consider myself a community advocate for the VR chat community. I really love and I'm super passionate about the community. Every person I've met, I've kind of just like, oh gosh, I can't even think of people who I actually dislike. Like I don't know, of the thousands of people I've met, it's like three people who I'm like, bleh. you know, like the ratio is nothing. So I love the community. Everyone's amazing here. What I do is I do stream. I have a stream, and I'm streaming this right now. It's twitch.tv/LilBagel underscore. Hopefully, one of these days we'll get that underscore removed if we ever make it to partner, but we'll see. Um, I have a Twitter as well. Twitter.com slash LilBagelVR. There's no spaces there. It's all lowercase. And that's where I'm at there. It's my Twitter handle. I've got an excellent community of amazing people. The Love Legion. These people are absolutely amazing. I love them all to death. They're like my family. We talk every day, basically, and I just got done playing Trouble in Terrorist Town with them. Actually, it was super fun. Um, I love this game to death. I want to continue seeing this game evolve and improve, and I want everyone and my friends to grow and be more amazing. I don't know. I just love the game. I love the game a lot, and I love the people here. And I'm super passionate about these people. So hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. Quickly, someone asked like, why is custom scripting getting banned? It's just not allowed. You're not allowed to do something that's against the rules. The rules say no custom scripts, you get banned. That's just simply the way it is. Like that's just the rules
It
of the
is.
game. When you play games like Garry's Mod, it's allowed. Lua and scripting and stuff like that. That's just allowed.
Hmm.
VRChat is not allowed. And you think that's stupid? Well, it's because when you enable like scripting in a social game like VRChat, it means like people can no clip, and then some people can. Some people can like hack the client and fucking get dev tools and like bullshit, and it's just
Yeah. So
it's a
it
slippery
more,
slope.
more borders around. It's just getting rid of the tools people use to
Be malicious.
troll one another. Yeah, or
Yeah,
be
there's
malicious.
definitely a
That's
lot of
basically what it's about.
there are people that use custom scripts for good, like they make really cool avatars or worlds, but that's a very small portion. A lot of people that use custom scripts are malicious and bad, and they are like hackers and crashers and
I've been in
bullshit.
rooms.
Yeah,
I've been in rooms with people who have had clients that can actually like crash entire instances, brag about them being God, for instance.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, so like we already know that the very few people who are able to get
Yeah,
access to these tools do not use them for
yeah.
good. But there are some there are those that do. Those aren't in short supply, but it's really just keeping
Hmm.
the or attempting to try to keep the bad players away from the bad toys.
Well, this is all
So
gonna change. So this has been a rule since like the game's ever been made, but now the rule's gonna change when Udon comes out because it's gonna allow. Well, it's gonna have the tools to have like better scripting, so then people don't have to
mm,
modify the client anymore to do what they need to. They'll just have the Udon
mm,
toolset, and now they can make cool worlds. This is only for worlds, by the way. Udon doesn't affect avatars, so
mm.
Unity, the newer Unity 2018 will affect avatars. So you have they said they'll have more avatar features, whatever the hell that means. So yeah, it's not a dumb rule.
I would
Enabling
imagine
that would mean that VRChat would implode. I mean that's
it would be. Yeah.
it will it just be like very common because like you would have crashers and hackers in every lobby and they're allowed to do it.
They'd be worse than what they are now,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, and like I said, we mentioned that there was game wars in the past. That's because the game was still kind of like in its alpha, like super
Hmm.
infancy. So people had access to like all kinds of tools that have been patched out now. So it was much worse back then. There was like, gosh, it was so bad. Like back then, like right now, it is still like pretty bad, but it's not as bad as it used to be, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
on that note, I'll wrap it up here because we can go on forever.
yeah,
But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much, Bagel, for stopping by and being my guest for Late Night of Rebel. That's me, your host, Dab. I do these literally every day. So if anyone wants to sign up, you fill out a form, and then you select the days you're available. I do these 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single night, or I try to. And then afterwards, I just do other stuff, hang with friends, and yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the awkward part because this
bam.
is a stream, so I can't just like cut it and have some cool shit happen.
Actually, we just like stare at the camera until like things end, right? Is that how it
No,
works? Or it's just like we stare at the camera for like 5 minutes?
no, I take a selfie is what I usually
The
do. So
Oh yeah, we could take a selfie. That's a good idea. I like that
I need
idea.
to turn off the chairs so I don't do that.
Oh snap.
And then photo. And then
Bam. Huh. I'm kind of floating a bit because I'd use my full body. What? Maybe let me change that.
yeah, exactly.
Huh.
So yeah,
Okay.
anyone in the chat, you can be interviewed by me, technically speaking. You don't have to be a popular YouTuber, streamer, or anything. I've had people on here that simply just make a world or know how to, whatever. As long as you're part of this community, I interview anyone. Everyone gets the chance to.
Passionate people about the community.
Yeah,
Hooray.
yeah, that's basically the best way to describe it. Let me, I can just crouch down. It's almost like we're the same height or something. It's almost like my character's like 8 feet tall.
I'm not a little bagel anymore. I am
Yeah.
now Bam. Big winks. That's right. hmm Bam. That's what I like. Chow. The sass. Oh, and he's dead. I can't believe it. There he is.
No, I'm back. I just had to turn my fan on. My bad.
Well, did you just go and crash? Whoa. I
What?
thought you like crashed because you're like lagging all over the place. Or was that me? Oof.
I don't know.
That was
I
crazy.
had to turn on the fan. It's getting hot in my room.
Oh, snap. Okay. Well, it was good to see you. It was good to meet you and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm leaving.
I'm
now.
gonna jump out the window and
'Cause,
die. Ugh.
yeah, we could just.
Answer tits. Good question. Slow zoom on your face as you sit motionless. I wish I had a slow zoom. There's no zooming on the camera system. I wish there